What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Happy Sunday. I want to do a video exactly step-by-step guide on how you're going to go about locating your rental property, or potentially if you're interested in buying your property down here in Tijuana beaches and the broader Mexico area. I'm going to give you a couple different avenues you can go about doing this. So the reason I'm doing this is because several people on a weekly basis, since the channel's been kind of changing here, have been reaching out, asking me if I can assist them in helping them find a rental. Now, I can definitely help you find a property to buy because I get paid through the broker to my broker internationally through a referral service. Now, I cannot help you find a rental because I am not a Mexican resident. I cannot get paid a commission for rental properties. For selling properties, it's a different story. So I want to just divulge that. That way people understand my position on why I'm not interested in helping people locate a rental property. It's not that I don't want to. It's because there's just no reason to. I won't be able to get compensated. So I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on how you would go about doing this in the entire country of Mexico and what to avoid. I'm going to be kind of jumping into the Tijuana market and kind of showing you the different price points to kind of know what to expect. We're going to use 3 different avenues. We're going to be using two websites that are going to be similar to an MLS in the United States, and then I'm going to be jumping over to a Facebook Marketplace, where I'm going to kind of show you some red flags and things to avoid over there. And then we're going to kind of wrap it up with, yes, I can absolutely help you find a rental, but it's going to be on a fee for service type way, okay? Because I can't be working for free, guys. Hope you understand. So we're going to jump right into it. This will probably obviously open up the doors for many people that are interested. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna drop these 2 websites in the description, so you can go down there and check it out for yourself. The first one we're gonna check out is Properstar. Okay, this is gonna be a MLS type IDX feed in Mexico. This is where brokers go to advertise their potential listings that they get compensated by the owner in a commission, the same way as realtors get compensated in the United States. Hence why I'm making this video, because I can't get paid for rentals. So you're going to go to properstar.com. You are going to either, first thing you want to do is you want to set your browser on your Google Chrome or Safari or Firefox or whatever you use to translate this to English. And if you don't know how to do that, you can find simple directions online. And once you convert that to English, you're going to want to keep in mind that some of these listings are advertised in pesos, right? So you want to also have another browser open where you have a peso converter if you're not familiar with the exchange rate. That way you can just on the fly see how much they are worth. And I'm also going to be breaking down what to expect down payment wise as well. So with the down payments here in Mexico, I only go on experience. So based on my experience, you should not pay more than a month's rent on a rental property. A couple reasons why. When I first moved to Rosarito, I ended up paying 2 months rent on a $1,200 a month property, right? So I'm literally paying $2,400 to move in for a deposit plus my first month's rent. So moving in cost me $3,600 before I even turned the internet on. So just kind of keep in mind, most properties only require a 1 month's rent in the current market down here. Okay, so if they're asking for more rent, there are plenty of listings. Just tell them, hey, I'm not, you don't even have to respond, but if you do respond, tell them, hey, look, unless you're willing to drop the down payment to 1 month, I'm going to unfortunately have to take my business elsewhere. So once you get to this website and you've translated the search browser to English, you are going to want to locate where you want to live within the Tijuana area, Rosarito, Ensenada. If you are in Tulum or Merida or any of these Cancun, you can obviously look anywhere. This is an IDX feed that works similar to an MLS. in the United States. So you can find properties all around Mexico. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to be focusing on the Tijuana beaches and Rosarito area. And then we'll kind of move inland a little bit to give you guys an understanding of how much stuff costs in this area. So you would set it to translate to English, and then you would obviously set your filters to rent, and then you would obviously set your filters to how many bedrooms you want. Shout outs to Luis. He wanted me to help him find a 2-bedroom. So we'll find a 2-bedroom here right now, and we'll kind of go from there. Now, one thing to know about this website is this kind of caters more to the, at least on the beach side of stuff. This website seems to be a little bit, the prices seem to be a little bit elevated on some properties, meaning I've seen these prices lower. So just kind of keep in mind, sometimes the advertised price, the owners will actually, and the brokers will actually build in some room for negotiation. So you can always request to obviously, you know, lower the price, or make some everything's negotiable here in Mexico, same as the US. So just keep in mind also when you're looking at this website that these properties are not only a little bit overpriced, they're going to kind of cater to the Americans, at least in this particular area. I'm going to show you another website that we're going to look at that has a little bit more properties priced in pesos, and they typically, I think that the second website is going to be actually a little bit better deal if you're looking for a like a cheaper home. All right, so we're looking at the area I mentioned, Playas de Tijuana. We're going a little bit inland as well, off the beach, and as you see, there are several properties. I'm going to set this for 2 bedrooms. So we're going to go down here to rent. We're going to go to 2. We're going to hit search results. And we're going to organize by right here. You're going to go to the cheap price first, because we want to see, what these prices are starting for. So as you see, we got a 2-bedroom right here for $400 US. And I can already tell you off the rip that this one is going to be on the Tijuana Libre. So there's really 2 roads that kind of head south. One is the Tijuana Libre, and one is the Tijuana Quota, which is the toll road, which is going to go through Playas all the way down to Rosarito. The Tijuana Libre is going to be where you find cheaper properties. This is where more locals, less expats are in these particular areas. They are not bad areas by any means. They do require that in the summertime for you to run your air conditioning, so kind of price that into your budget. That's going to be these properties we're going to see right here, 400, 600, 635. These are going to be on that, even though I got the beach highlighted here, these are going to be on the other side of the cliff, where you're going to be taking, if you're coming through Tijuana, you're going to be going through the Tijuana Libre. And these are not going to be like coastal beachfront properties or in Playas de Tijuana or San Marino or anything like that. They're not bad properties. San Antonio del Mar, they are just different in what they cater to. Like here's another one for $635, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. But as you see, they start much lower price-wise. So once you start jumping up to like the 800 to the 800 and up price range, you're going to be getting potentially a coastal property. Like here's one in Rosarito for $650. We were talking about the cost of renting in Rosarito tends to be a little bit cheaper. So once you get down to Rosarito, you are going to start to notice that the prices are going to start dropping off. You can be closer to the ocean, closer to the beach, and the prices are going to be like this. They're going to be starting kind of in that low 600 range for a 2-bedroom. 1-bedroom, you can find one as low as 400. Blocks from the beach, depending on obviously your budget and what you want. Like for me, like I could do something like this, but I definitely could not do something like this. This is going to be kind of in a neighborhood that just is not aesthetically what I'm kind of looking for. And it's $700, but it's a 3-bedroom, but it looks like it's kind of, obviously weathered and whatnot. So, so moving kind of forward here, like I said, once you start getting in the $800-900 range, and if you want to draw exactly where you want, like let me go and cancel this out. Let's go ahead and it looks like you probably need to refresh this, but once you go, like you can draw your map on where you want to go, and I've already kind of done that here. But So you're going to click on this thing that says message agent. And what's this going to do is it's going to put you in touch with this broker that handles a lot of these listings. I think he's advertising Christian Garcia. I've seen him on here. He's pretty much on every listing. So I think what this does is when you hit the message agent button, it's going to go to him, and he's a notorious broker down here, so he definitely can help you. They're going to want a couple different things before they want to make sure you're serious. So they're going to make sure that you have a job. They're going to ask for pay stubs. Credit, not really a thing down here in Mexico. They kind of just go off your pay stub. Like if you can prove you have money in the bank, you have, whatever you have, 4,000 a month coming in or 10,000 a month coming in, whatever you have money wise coming in, they're going to want like probably 3 months of bank statements. And they're going to want proof of reserves. They're going to want to make sure you have either an investment portfolio or a checking account that has 2 or 3 times the rent. Or they are going to request, they're not going to do a credit report, okay? Mexico, they don't really go too much on credit. They go on what you provide for them, and then they make the decision whether or not the owner is willing to accept that as credit for you to occupy the property. So when you click message agent, expect to get an immediate response that Christian will reach out, and this is off the Properstar. He's kind of like either working with these owners. I don't know exactly how this is set up on the back end of stuff, but he's kind of the main guy in Playas de Tijuana and Tijuana. When you get down to Rosarito, they might filter you off into another broker that's kind of in that area per se, and it's the same deal. They'll kind of hit you back. They might ask for your WhatsApp. WhatsApp's very popular down here, so expect, I would download WhatsApp and just expect to go through that chain of contact if you don't want to do email. If not, it'll be through email. They will ask for a couple different things, and then they'll obviously take you to the property after you kind of provide that pertinent information. So that's going to be this website right here. I do recommend it, especially if you're looking at coastal areas. Like I said, some of the prices can be a little bit higher, but again, everything is negotiable. So just kind of keep that in mind. Like if you see a property you like and they're wanting 1,500, you might be able to get it for 1,350 or 1,400 or something like that, especially in today's market. Even the place that I used to rent in San Marino, I see it online for $100 less than I've rented it, and I've seen it online for several months. So just kind of keep in mind that everything down here is negotiable, like anywhere. So the second website we're going to be looking at is I'm not sure how to pronounce this Mexican term, but I'm going to put these links down low, and this is going to be kind of like, this is like where I found my property, but also this is going to be, I think this website kind of caters more to locals. Okay, so you'll go to the WhatsApp or contact button, and they'll put you in touch with the broker that's in charge of this particular property, a little bit different than Properstar. So like I said, everything down here is negotiable. Like these prices right here, like I would not pay $1,100 for that. I might pay like $9 or $8 because I can already tell you this is in one of just on the main side cut streets. So I can look at these properties and visually know, like I know where this building is. This is a pretty good property for $1,250. It's right on the water. We'll check this one out. So this one's like literally right on the water. I actually considered moving into this property before I moved into the property I'm currently occupying. So check this property out. It's right on the water for $1,250. That view is not really the view. That's a zoomed up view from the border. But a lot of the marketing down here is just kind of wonky. It's like you don't have that type of view from this particular property. You have a much more distant view of Coronado Bridge in downtown San Diego. So just keep in mind, this is catered to Americans as well. So they try to propagate this listing in a way where they try to cater to Americans that are potentially looking for the cross-border arbitrage lifestyle that we do here on the channel. So, but as you see inside, it's super nice, right? It's $1,250. It comes with appliances, which a lot of places down here do not come with appliances. But your typical Walmart, you can go in there and get a brand new stove for like $400 or $500. You can get a fridge for $400 or $500, Mexican brand, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with these Mexican appliances. They work just as good as the U.S. brands. Do not go into a used place and buy a used stove and have some salesman try to sell you on the fact that you're buying an American product. I made the mistake with this stove, and this is like a 10 or 15-year-old stove. I got ripped off on it, and I could have gone to Walmart and had a brand new stove. So just kind of keep this stuff in mind, right? So you see this property here, it's looking good. It's got like ocean view, 1250, 2-bedroom, spacious, right on the water. It's in kind of a gated condominium. It even comes with a bed, so you don't even have to buy a bed. Sometimes these places will come like partially furnished. Some are fully furnished. You know, you got a nice bathroom here and clubhouse, workout area, and so forth, pool on the beach. So just keep in mind, like when you're looking at these properties, that everything is negotiable. The down payment should not be more than 1 month's rent. And if you really like find a property you really like, talk to the broker, you know, ask them if we can work something out with the down payment. Maybe you want to pay, maybe you're open to paying 1 month's deposit and 3 months rent up front or something to avoid that second deposit. Because really what landlords and brokers are afraid of down here in Mexico and Tijuana is they think that, you know, the American's going to move in and they're not going to really like enjoy the area, and then they're going to quickly move out, and then they have to, you know, paint the place, clean it up. They have to relist the property with a broker, and these brokers usually get paid 1 month's rent, which comes out of the deposit. So really the homeowner, the owner of the condo or whatnot, is kind of left like, you know, it's more of a hassle than it is just to get a solid renter in there. But if you're willing to work with the owner or the broker and say, hey, look, I'm only going to give you 1 month's deposit and I will pay 3 months up front, that might, you know, deter the owner or the broker saying, nah, we want 2 months up front as a deposit plus your first month rent. Do not pay more than one month's rent as a deposit and your first month's rent. It's just, there are so many listings down here that I would be steering the channel wrong if I told you to do that, even if you absolutely love the property and things like that. And if it doesn't have a washer and dryer, if it doesn't have a stove or a fridge, you know, maybe talk down the price, right? A lot of the places do not have these appliances, right? They want you to bring your own appliances. They want you to buy your own appliances. I would say it's probably like, I would say probably more than half do not have the appliances, but you know, you can work something out. Sometimes if you're really serious about moving in, they'll put a stove in there, or they'll put a, you know, washer and dryer or a fridge, or all three, right? If you kind of conform to their terms here. So the next thing we're going to do, and I'm just going to kind of do this on the fly here since we're making the video kind of freehand, is Facebook Marketplace. So it's the same deal like anywhere with Facebook Marketplace. I don't need to kind of tell people how that works. But I will find that Facebook Marketplace is notorious for scams in the US. Down in Mexico, it's a little bit more legit. Most of the listing people are legitimate. Just make sure that you're looking on the user. Make sure that you're looking at the bottom and checking out who is listing the property, right? Click on them, make sure they got high ratings and all that. I have found that Facebook Marketplace has some of the best negotiation out of any of these platforms that I've showed you. Both of these websites, Facebook Marketplace, usually have brokers that are working directly with the owner. They usually tend to list the property with a price negotiation kind of baked in, it seems like, because I talk to these brokers to get these listing appointments to go show you guys the properties that I've been showing. Like the property I did the other day, they had somebody renting it for $3,500. The owner's now willing to take $2,800 because it sat on the market for, you know, however long it sat on the market. It looked like it'd been sitting on the market for a couple months. So the way the market works down here is they go, the owner and the broker go off what you say, and then you have to present a package that proves that. So if you make 100 grand a year, they're going to want to see check statements for 3 months that prove that you make 100 grand a year. They're not going to just take your word for it. They're going to they're not going to do a background check on your finances other than really your ability to satisfy the monthly payment. So as long as you have enough you know, in your checking account, you know, if you're renting a place for $500-600, I would say if you have, you know, 1,500 or 2,000, they'll probably rent to you if they see that money coming in each month for 3 months. Now, if you try to like Don't try to outsmart these people down here either. That's one thing that I feel like I hear these stories about people is they try to finagle their finances with a way to get in these properties. The brokers down here are just as savvy as the brokers on the U.S. side. I mean, like a lot of people come down to Mexico, they think they can just kind of like get away with these like little ploys and these little things like to try to get one on like over on the owner or the broker. Like if you don't pay your rent, they're going to evict you. They're going to put the same eviction process. They're going to put a letter on your door. They're going to give you a certain amount of time. They're going to take you to court, local municipal court, and if not, they're going to show up and they're going to evict you. So it's the same process down here. The only difference is they don't run like a hard credit check. I don't know if they called any of my references. I don't think they did. Not that I would be worried if they did, but the process that it kind of seems to me down here through my experience is that you tell them what the deal is, you tell them how much you make, but just be honest with that. Don't try to fabricate stuff to get into a place that you can barely afford. That you're going to be doing yourself a disservice, and they're gonna deny you anyway. So if you don't make the funds, they're not going to give you the property. They're going to want to see a paper trail. They're going to want to see like I said, a savings account, a financial portfolio. They're going to want to see check stubs from your job. You have to be able to prove that you make a certain amount of money a month. Whether or not you have to make 2.5 times the rent, that's up to the discretion of the broker and the homeowner or the condo owner. They don't really care too much about that. They just want to make sure you got money there. You want to have a little bit of reserves, that kind of thing. They're pretty lenient on, other stuff, but they're not lenient on the financial part. You have got to provide the proper documents and things like that. And other than that, it's pretty easy to get a place down here. As far as whether or not I can be of assistance, I'll be glad to help you guys. I do consultations online. My number's in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. But for the purposes of this video, I hope this is, educational for you. And I also have connections with people that do cross-border moving of furniture and things like that. If you're bringing your furniture down here, and the consultation stuff behind that. So, and then past that, me and Anthony have been kind of conversing about a potential members club, like a private members club. He's kind of soft launching that over at his channel. We might be doing that something in the future once we kind of completely get it together. So it is kind of in the works as kind of a resource hub of some of these cross-border logistics and things like that, how to avoid certain issues and things like that, kind of a members only club. So we are working on that. So if you guys got any questions, drop it in the comments. We're getting a tremendous amount of comments, some good, some bad. And, we might kind of take a break from giving a heart to everybody. It's nothing personal, but we're trying to really focus on, or I'm trying to really focus on giving you guys educational content, as well as we're going to be moving some of this media company over to the California side and kind of doing some stuff on the San Diego side over the next few months as well. So just kind of keep in mind that we're in Tijuana right now. We're trying to maximize the beach lifestyle and max out everything we can do down in Tijuana. In the next 6 months, who knows? I could be in Cancun, Tulum, Florida, California, San Diego, Orange County. Who knows? The sky's the limit. But for now, we're trying to give you guys educational stuff. So if you got any comments, drop it in the comments and let me know.